deep in the heart of a bright, colorful forest where sunlight danced through the leaves and birds sang cheerful morning songs. Something unusual was happening, something exciting, something mysterious, something the animals would talk about for weeks. For on this particular morning, a mighty lion, a tiny mouse, and a very sleepy bear were about to stumble into an adventure none of them had planned, and one they would never forget. It all began when Leo the lion, king of the sunny forest, woke up with a loud yawn that echoed across the trees. "Ruaro, excuse me," Leo muttered, shaking his golden mane. Today felt special, though he didn't know why. But fate had a little surprise waiting for him. "Sire." Leo stretched and walked toward the watering hole. A tiny creature zoomed across the paths, so tiny that Leo almost stepped on it. "Hey, watch your paws," squeaked Mimi the mouse, standing on her hind legs with arms folded dramatically. Leo blinked. "Mimi, what are you doing running around like thunder?" Mimi huffed. "I'm training. Today is my big bravery day." Leo tried not to laugh. A mouse having a bravery day. "And what exactly are you trying to be brave about?" he asked. Mimi puffed her chest. "I'm going to explore the dark cave." Leo gasped so loudly that a gust of wind blew Mimi backwards. "The dark cave? Mimi, that place is dangerous. Even I don't go inside." Mimi brushed dust off her whiskers. "Exactly. A brave mouse must do brave things." Leo shook his head, amused but worried. Before he could argue, a deep, thunderous snore shook the forest floor, so powerful that it made a pile of leaves explode into the air. "There it goes again." Mimi squeaked, spinning around. Leo's ears twitched. That sounded like Bruno the bear. The sleepiest, laziest, most peaceful bear in the entire forest, slept anywhere, anytime, and through anything. Rainstorms, lion roars, even thunder, nothing woke him. But today, his snoring was unusually loud enough to shake the treetops. "Let's go check on him," Leo said. Mimi nodded, hopping onto Leo's back for a free ride. Together they followed the rumbling snores until they reached a giant oak tree with a huge lump underneath it. T lay on his back, mouth open wide, drooling rivers, snoring like a roaring dragon. "Bruno!" Leo shouted. "Wake up!" Bruno did not budge. Mimi jumped onto his nose. "Bruno, are you alive? Say something." Bruno snored so sharply that Mimi flew backward into Leo's mane. "Okay, something's definitely wrong," Mimi said, climbing down his tail. Leo nodded. He's never snored this loud before. Mimi placed her paw on Bruno's belly. Maybe he ate something weird. Leo nudged Bruno. Maybe he didn't eat at all. He usually snacks before naps. Mimi tapped her chin. Or maybe he's trapped in a dream. Leo blinked. Trapped in a dream. Mimi nodded firmly. "Yes, and we have to wake him up." Leo sighed. "Great. So how exactly do we wake up a mountain-sized bear?" Mimi grinned. "Leave it to me." The tiny mouse marched right up to Bruno's ear and shouted, "Wake up, sleepy furball." Bruno snored louder. Mimi shrugged. "Well, I tried." Leo thought for a moment. "Maybe we should call the wise owl." Mimi gasped. "Yes, maybe he knows what's wrong." Off they went, weaving through trees and over tiny bridges until they reached Oliver's tree, the tallest in the forest. Oliver peered down with his big round eyes. "Ah, Leo, Mimi, why the rush?" Leo explained everything. Oliver stroked his feathers thoughtfully. Bruno's spirit might indeed be trapped in a dream. Something must have pulled him into very deep sleep. But fear not, there is a solution." Mimi jumped. "What? Tell us." Oliver pointed his wing toward the horizon. "Inside the dark cave lies a magical flower called the Wake Bloom. Bring its petals to Bruno's nose, and he will awaken instantly." Mimi froze. Leo froze. The dark cave. Mimi squeaked a tiny "oh no." Leo looked at her, still feeling brave. Mimi swallowed hard. On Bravery Day is starting to feel overrated. "We have no choice," Leo said gently. "Bruno needs us." Mimi took a deep breath. "Okay, let's do it. Together." And so, the lion and the mouse began their journey toward the dark cave, walking side by side. Along the path, Mimi asked Leo, "Are you scared?" Leo hesitated. A little. Mimi blinked. "Even you?" Leo nodded. Bravery is not about not being scared. It's about doing the right thing even when fear is there. Mimi smiled. "Then I'm extra brave." They reached the mouth of the dark cave, a huge, yawning opening surrounded by jagged rocks. Cold wind breathed out of it like a giant exhaling. Even Leo shivered. "Okay, Mimi," Leo whispered. "Stay close." Mimi climbed onto Leo's head. Closer than close. Inside, the cave was darker than night. Strange dripping sounds echoed. Their footsteps made scary shadows dance on the walls. Mimi whispered in Leo's ear, "If anything jumps out, roar loudly." Leo whispered back, "If anything jumps out, scream if needed." And of course, something did jump out. A cluster of glowing eyes blinked in the darkness. Mimi squeaked. Leo froze. Then the creatures stepped forward, tiny bats. "Not dangerous, just curious." "Go away," Mimi said bravely. "We're here on a mission." The bats scattered, flapping harmlessly. Deeper they went, until finally, a soft glow lit the cave. At the center stood the wake bloomer, beautiful flower glowing like a tiny sunrise. Leo stepped closer. Careful, it might be guarded. Mimi scanned the shadows. By what, a dragon? A snake? A loud growl cut her off. Through. From behind the glowing flower rose a creature covered in long gray fur, with sharp claws and gleaming eyes. "The cave guardian," Leo whispered. Mimi squeaked. "That thing guards the flower." The guardian lowered itself, ready to pounce. Leo stood firm. "Mimi, get the flower, I'll distract it." Mimi's heart raced. "Leo, that thing is huge." Leo leaned down gently. "So am I, trust me." As the guardian lunged, Leo roared a powerful, thunderous roar that shook the very stones. The guardian stopped, startled. Mimi darted forward, slipped past the claws, and reached the flower. She nibbled gently, taking only one petal, just like Oliver said. "Leo, I got it," she shouted. Leo backed away carefully, keeping himself between Mimi and the creature. They sprinted toward the exit. The guardian chased them, growling fiercely. But sunlight struck its face as they escaped, and it retreated back into the darkness. Outside, both collapsed in the grass, panting. Mimi puffed out her chest proudly. "Leo, we did it." Leo smiled. "Yes, little one. We did." They raced back to Bruno, the giant bear still snoring mountains down. Leo lowered Mimi onto Bruno's nose. "Go on," Leo said. "You earned this moment." Mimi carefully placed the glowing petal on Bruno's nose. For a moment, nothing happened. Then boom. Bruno sat up so fast he bonked his head on a branch. "Ow! What's going on? Why is the forest upside down?" Mimi and Leo burst into laughter. Bruno blinked at them, too. "Why are you two looking at me like I just woke from a 1,000-year nap?" Mimi put her paws on her hips. "Because you almost did." Leo explained everything. Bruno listened with wide eyes, cheeks turning pink beneath his fur. "You two saved me." Mimi nodded proudly. "Of course, that's what friends do." Bruno pulled them both into a giant, warm, squishy bear hug. "Too. I owe you both my life." Mimi giggled. "And maybe a snack." Bruno laughed. "I'll make you the biggest berry pie ever." The three friends celebrated the entire afternoon, sharing food, stories, and laughs. Later, as the sun set and painted the sky orange and gold, Mimi looked up at Leo. "Hey, I think today was the bravest day of my life." Leo smiled warmly. "Do you know what, Mimi, you were the bravest one in that cave." Mimi's eyes sparkled. "Really? Absolutely," Leo said. "Because sometimes the smallest creatures have the biggest courage." Mimi hugged his paw. "Thanks, Leo." Bruno yawned loudly. "And now, after all that, I think I'm ready for another nap." Leo and Mimi gasped. New Bruno laughed. "Kidding, I'll stay awake." For now, the forest glowed under the sunset as the unlikely trio walked home. the mighty lion, the tiny mouse, and the once sleepy bear, proving that courage comes in all sizes. Friendship can conquer fear, and even the sleepiest bear can be part of a grand adventure. And from that day on, whenever Mimi bragged about her bravery, everyone agreed. The mouse who entered the dark cave was a true hero, the lion who protected her was a noble king, and the bear who slept through the beginning, well, he learned to set an alarm. The forest was never the same again, because the greatest adventures often come from the most unexpected friendships. And so, their story lived on, reminding every young animal that no matter how small you are, or how sleepy you might be, you have the power to change the world one brave step at a time.